In attacking, there are three main ways to progress the ball towards the opponent's goal. As a team, you can play 1. Through the opponent. This allows you to create chances or score through the center of the pitch, which is favorable, because from central positions the players have better scoring angles and more passing options to assist. Unsurprisingly, opponents prioritize defending the central area by closing the middle for the reasons mentioned above. 2. Around the opponent. As progression through the middle is often denied, the attacking team will naturally look for progression options through the sides. While passing to the sides limits the passing options available, especially that many defending teams will use such passes as triggers to press, the opponents will have to shift towards the ball, leaving parts of the central areas free. 3. Over the opponent. Balls behind the backline of the opponent can create direct scoring chances. However, the success rate of direct long balls are not very high, as defending teams normally prioritize defending the space behind, using synchronized movement of the backline, and good coverage from the goalkeeper, who can act as a sweeper. I think good attacking teams approach this through two lenses. A. Reactively, it is virtually impossible for defending teams to defend the center, deny passes through, the sides, deny passes around, and the space behind, deny passes over, simultaneously. Instead, defending teams must prioritize defending some areas at the expense of leaving other areas more vulnerable. In that sense, attacking teams can see which spaces the defending team leaves more vulnerable and try to exploit them. This requires that the individual players within the attacking team to have a collection of shared references through which they can interpret the opponent's defending strategy, areas prioritized, passive or aggressive pressing, etc., and subsequently, which attacking strategy can be afforded the most through, around, or over. Training your players to recognize the opponent's defending strategy is in this case very useful, but how to do it? There are two types of coaching that can be put in practice to effectively help the players read the game. Reference coaching. This tool entails the kinds of pedagogical exchange that happen mainly off the pitch, such as team meetings and video analysis sessions. It is suggested by research that embracing the role of a facilitator, rather than a direct instructor, is more effective in teaching. As a facilitator, the coach would introduce a reference to the players, such as the idea of going over, through, or above the opponent. This reference would then act as the lens through which players can engage in the conversation with the coach, who deliberately asks questions to the players, with the aim of drawing the conclusions out of the players. This method engages the players in the conversation, activating their brains during the meeting/session, enhancing the learning process. 2. Situational coaching, an implicit learning tool. Players learn by doing. They need to experience situations in many different ways, so that can develop knowledge of the game. In other words, the coach's role here is to design training tasks and games that will allow the players to gain experience and improve their problem-solving skills in the game. Creating a game in which you focus on coaching the defending can create many situations for the attacking team to solve. The benefit of playing opposed games is that a situation is never repeated twice. Every repetition is slightly different than any previous or future situations that may appear. This again fosters adaptability in your players. Here, I present an example of how a coach can use different size games to globally address the question of do we go over, through, or around the opponent. 11v11 game. Implicit coaching the attacking. Yellow team via explicit coaching of the defending. Blue team. In the 11v11 game shown above, the coach will explicitly instruct the defending blue team, set in a 1-5-3-2 structure, to defend in a certain manner. In this case, the 8s are stepping out on the fullbacks, while the two strikers, 9 and 11, are controlling the two center-backs and the 6. Depending on the position of number 9, the yellow team should exploit the free space left by the blue team. If number 9 oriented towards pressing the LCB of the yellow team, number 5, then playing through the blue team to number 6 is accessible. However, if number 9 is denying the pass on number 6, then the yellow team can circulate the ball and play around the blue team. We can take this 11v11 and reduce the number of players, while maintaining the key relationship between the two teams, so that we can still work on the same ideas. From 9v9 plus GKs, top left corner, to 6v6 plus GKs, bottom right corner. Playing games with smaller number of players will allow more repetition of the same concept, looking to decide whether to play over, through, or around the opponent. You can see that again. The positioning and pressing orientation of number 9 will provide key information to the yellow team. The coach can introduce the reference of pressing orientation bias along with the over, through, or around the opponent to the players, and reflect on the situations during, briefly, and or after training with the players. 6v5 plus GKs to 4v4 plus GKs. These methods of coaching should develop the player's abilities to recognize the opportunities afforded by the opponent. In the following article, I will dive deeper into how some teams adopt a more proactive approach to attacking. Instead of looking for the free spaces, they create the free spaces.